Now, way back when, just after Donald Trump became president of the United States, one of his fiercest political rivals, a Democrat senator from New York, Chuck Schumer, said this out loud about the way that the establishment would get back at Donald Trump if he was going to challenge them.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
And as we know, that was there for most, if not all, of his presidency, with lies about Russian collusion, lies about dossiers, lies about things that were said about troops, and so on and so on and so on. Well, the American TV host Tucker Carlson is a bloke who is absolutely spitting in the eye of the establishment right now, particularly the military-industrial complex, which of course was pointed out by Eisenhower way back when.
You may have seen American troops on the move, leaving their families on their way to the Middle East. Now, just a month ago, not 1 in 100 Americans was thinking about Iran. Now, suddenly, we are on the brink of war. In Washington, that is considered an upgrade, indeed a massive improvement. It's harder to get rich and powerful in Washington during peacetime, so our leaders have a built-in bias for war.
Now, he's done plenty of these segments, plenty of the segments talking about those who enrich themselves from military conflict, the lies that lead up to military conflicts, and of course, in a country that has free speech, it is his right to do so. But what is frightening is when the very agencies that are supposedly going after criminals, supposedly keeping their country safe, decide to turn on members of their own media because either they make too much noise or they're too close to the target. Of recent times, Tucker Carlson has been trying to negotiate an interview with Vladimir Putin. He was doing it rather quietly, something that NBC was able to do just a few weeks ago, yet nothing was coming from the intelligence services. But a couple of weeks ago, Tucker Carlson said this on his TV show about the NSA.
And yesterday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government who reached out to warn us that the NSA, the National Security Agency, is monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take this show off the air. Now, that's a shocking claim, and ordinarily we'd be skeptical of it. It's illegal for the NSA to spy on American citizens. It's a crime. It's not a third world country. Things like that should not happen in America. But unfortunately, they do happen, and in this case, they did happen. The whistleblower, who is in a position to know, repeated back to us information about a story that we are working on that could have only come directly from my texts and emails. There's no other possible source for that information.
So when Tucker Carlson said that, the NSA decided to go public that it wasn't true. They said that the NSA has a foreign intelligence mission. We target foreign powers to generate insights on foreign activities. This allegation is untrue. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency. Well, Tucker Carlson was on his show again today and doubled down with more detail that the NSA was paying attention to the emails and texts that he was using to try to get an interview with the president of Russia, something that, I repeat, NBC had done a couple of weeks earlier with apparently no monitoring of their communications.
I learned from a whistleblower that the NSA planned to leak the contents of those emails to media outlets. Why would they do that? Well, the point, of course, was to paint me as a disloyal American, a Russian operative, been called that before, a stooge of the Kremlin, a traitor doing the bidding of a foreign adversary. And of course, I'm hardly the only person who's been accused of those things in the last several years.
Because remember, to even discuss the potential leak of the Wuhan virus from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, well, that, of course, was Russian disinformation. Who told us that? People in the intelligence services and the people who worked for them in the United States. Now, if Tucker Carlson is wrong, the embarrassment will be obvious. But if Tucker Carlson is right, that is frightening.